welcome back. This is part 2. Fortunately, this is my 3rd time filming part 2. The first time I filmed it, my phone ran out of memory and the entire file became corrupted. The second time, which I literally just got done filming, I forgot to put the video on, or the camera on rotate. So the entire fucking video, which was about 35 minutes, was oriented the wrong way. So I'm going to do it all again. God damn. Fucking guys. Literally just about to go into the backpack. I'm so glad that I didn't get into the fucking backpack again. Fucking Christ. If I sound annoyed, it's because I am. I'm gonna run through these stuff very quickly because I still have a lot of stuff to go through. At this point, I've done quite a few of it, quite a lot of it, multiple times now. So, and I have earlier videos where I've done more of this stuff. I will probably do another video where I just tackle these items individually, but I'm going to just quickly go over them. So, that being said, this is first aid kit. This is meant to be travel sized in a car kind of thing. It is a 152 piece kit, and something that's really nice about it that I just discovered when I was filming the last time is it has a mini travel bag. So even though this is already a very travel sized first aid kit, it has its own even more travel sized first aid kit. Moving on. Alright. We're going to get into my range bag. I'm going to say that with air quotes because it's not really a range bag. I have ear protection here, some Winchester, $10 Walmart shit, some AOS safety stowaway. I don't know where these came from other than I found them on a job site and just decided to keep them because they were still in good condition. They were abandoned, so don't think I stole them. I just found them. They were going to be left there otherwise. So, not high quality, so no one's missing anything. This is iPro, cheap, $15-$20 pair. Has removable lenses, so you can change them out. Put on the fucking douchebag yellow if you're into that, or you can put in the clear, which is what I have, and it comes default with the black or the tinted, which is not something that any operator in their right mind would ever be using. Even in hot weather conditions, you probably still would not want to use that. I have Sim Professional, Operator, firearms gloves here from Hatch. Specialist is what they call them. Very high quality, very obvious that they're high quality. Once you touch them or feel them, they're neoprene. I love them, but at the same time, I don't, because I like the full dexterity of my fingers. I said that in the last video. I said it again. I'm going to keep saying it because it's still true. These are some cosplay gloves from a company called Abbyshot. They no longer make these. They used to do a whole line of different products from a whole line of different cosplays, from Metal Gear to Devil May Cry to The Matrix. Now they pretty much exclusively focus on Doctor Who, for whatever reason, and they don't seem to offer nearly as high quality products as they once did. This is a $20, $10, $15, I don't know, in that range, little survival kit I picked up at a grocery store. I am sure, 100% certain, you have seen these everywhere. They come with the same basic layout of stuff in here. There's a pocket saw, whistle, fucking ferro rod, magnesium, flint, whatever you want to call it, tiny little Leatherman Mylar blanket, tweezers, scissors. Very, very rudimentary, basic emergency kit, survival kit, whatever the hell you want to call it. I've got a Gerber Leatherman. It seems like this is one of the expensive ones. This is another one of those things where I just found it on the job site. Didn't find it on the job site. That's not true. That was with the the Ear Pro. This actually, I bought a couch from Aaron's, which is usually a rent-to-own place, but if you're smart, you just buy it outright so that you don't have to pay exorbitant interest costs, but I'll not get into that. It's neither here nor there. This fell out of the couch when I bought the couch. Couch was $200. This is about an $80 Leatherman. Made a profit of about $80, as far as I'm concerned. Anywho, last thing, got a holster here. This is a, outside the waist holster for my FN. I don't carry, I don't plan to, probably will never will. This is by Blade Tech. It's beautiful. It's got a little FN logo on there so that you don't even have to worry about, you know, people like, Blade Tech. I mean, yeah, obviously it's a Blade Tech, but very, very nice, very snug. A little bit of a tough pull to get it out, but I like that. I would much rather struggle to get it out because I don't want it to fall out. I don't want someone else to be able to pull it out easily and get the drop on me. A lot of people, when they think of firearm safety, they think the best route is to make the firearm as quickly accessible as possible. I understand that school of thought. However, I disagree with it. I think ultimately, if you are carrying a firearm all the time, or even somewhat frequently, the danger is more likely you and the firearm are going to damage yourself. That's just the fact of the matter. If there is only one point in your life where you are ever attacked, there was only ever one chance for you to be attacked. There's only ever one opportunity for you to be assaulted. If you are carrying a weapon every single day, or even every other day, or every day that you go to work, or every day that you travel, every single instance that you do is an opportunity for you to do harm to yourself. There's that saying, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. It's the same concept. Every time that you put a firearm on your person, you risk that firearm being used against you. If you don't carry, there's no risk of that. The only risk is when you do run into someone who has a firearm and intends to do harm to you. What's the point of having a firearm if you don't have it when you need it? It's a debate we could go on all day. Me personally, I would rather have my firearms in my home, because if there's a place that I want to be my safe space and I want to be where I will retreat when shit hits the fan or when someone wants to hurt me, it will be here. Also, where do I spend most of my time? Most of my life, for that matter, here in my home. I don't do a lot of travel. I don't go out a lot. I don't have a whole lot of hobbies that are not within my own home. It makes more sense for my firearms to be here in my home, not on my person. Moving on. Getting a lot better at this now that I've had to do it 3 times. Quickly, going into the backpack. Main backpack, 24-hour, 5.11, 511, whatever you want to call it. Life straw. I've got a road flare, and I've got a hand shovel. It's a folding hand shovel. And you get into the details on those, but I think most of them are kind of self-explanatory, other than maybe the life straw. Life straw is essentially just a plastic straw that has a somewhat robust filtration system. They've gotten some flack in the past, I've heard. But ultimately, you could, theoretically, use it to drink potentially contaminated water. If you're really concerned about the safety of your water, you will want to boil it, ionize it, purify it, whatever. Do your normal steps, and then use the life straw if you're super, super worried about it. Life straw is more of a emergency situation kind of thing where you need water now. You found a water source, you're not sure how long you're going to be able to sit at that water source and drink. Use the life straw and just hope that it does what it needs to do to get you that precious water without harming you. it can't protect you from everything, and it's not going to, but it's supposed to filter out the majority. Buck knife, I already reviewed this in part 1, but I just decided to put it in the backpack itself again. I used to have it in here, took it out, now it's back in. These kind of things happen. You will change your gear and change your loadouts all the time based on your needs and what your mindset is and new information that you might have come into. I had taken it out previously because I was using it in my home, or rather keeping it handy on me in my home. But anyhow, won't get into that. Rounds and all, lighter fluid, and some trash bags with some rubber bands around them to maintain tension. I believe there's 2, possibly 3 here. Might be even more than that, I'm not entirely sure. Some really heavy duty industrial trash bags. I borrowed them from my previous job. I don't steal. Just nip that in the bud right now. But companies are companies, petit bourgeois is petit bourgeois, and I don't give a rat's ass about the owners, the capital, or the company. I am not a capitalist, I never will be, and I will never apologize for not being. There is a hydration bladder in here. I believe it is a Source 2.0. I'll grab if the color matters to you. I've got a little magnet clip here to secure the drinking attachment. Nothing in it right now, probably never will be, because I don't think I'll ever have to use this. Even now, while the world is going to shit, I just keep thinking, doesn't look like I'm gonna need to be out in the forest doing my thing, which, I mean, all of this stuff is just paranoia gear, really. Or as someone like Brandon Herrera would say, it's meant to gear someone who takes it from you. Yeah, I worry about that sometimes, but I don't know, it's not like a huge concern. Mostly when it comes to me versus theoretical bad guy, in my mind, I think more often than not, I think I win the battle, because I have been preparing my mind for these kind of situations all my life. Fight or flight, anxiety, abuse, all that kind of stuff. I am not by any means a warrior or a fighter or a soldier of any kind, but I am constantly ready to be in the fight if I need to be. That's something a lot of people are not prepared for. Even people that engage other people are not necessarily prepared for the actual engagement. They're just expecting the other person to back down or to lose or to give up the fight really easily. This is a cheap little dinky whistle compass multi-tool thing. This is another cheap little compass, magnifying glass, mirror, tool thing. I will get into that kind of the nature of that kind of product is kind of silly. When you fall into this kind of hobby where you're collecting and gathering gear, you fall for a lot of crap, or you make a lot of mistakes as far as purchasing shit you don't need. This is a Gerber pocket-sized 30-degree 500 diamond grit sharpener. Probably the word that I needed to say the most out of all those. So that is that. Oh my god. Get in there. But yeah, on the gimmicky stuff, if you end up fancying yourself a survivalist and you buy a lot of survival products, or you fall for a lot of survival products, you will ultimately and eventually end up with a lot of gimmick gear, is what I'm going to call it, that may or may not be entirely functional, but ultimately is just there to draw your attention. And if you bought it, then it worked, and you fell for it. And that's fine, it happens, we all have to learn. It's the best way to start to understand the difference between quality gear and cheap gear is to own it and buy it and find out for yourself. Duct tape, old duct tape. We're going in the main front pocket now, not the main pocket, the front pocket. WD-40 and a monocular. Good little spyglass. If you were in the woods and you're trying to look for landmarks or other individuals, or maybe you are raiding and you need to get a good look at the encampment, find out what you're up against before you raid against it. Look, I'm a gamer, so a lot of these scenarios are going to sound like video game stuff. Here's the thing about video games. A lot of the times, they're still based loosely on real life. Not like the story itself, but the concepts themselves. In a video game, when you raid an enemy encampment, you think, like, oh, this is just game stuff, but, like, that happens in real life. Soldiers raid enemy encampments. Soldiers raid enemy forces. Enemies raid soldier FOBs. It happens. Shit happens. Anybody who discredits someone who uses video game knowledge to apply to real life situations really doesn't understand that the creativity in those situations can still be applicable. You just need to know how to filter out the fantasy bullshit from the practical knowledge. I get a lot of criticism, and I continue to get a lot of criticism from people that make fun of me for being a gamer who is trying to get into survival gear. I'm not trying to get into survival gear. I am in survival gear. Because they think that I don't know what I'm talking about, or that I have irrational understandings and expectations of what happens in survival situations or combat situations. Might be true. I am not going to claim to be an expert because I am not an expert. I have no experience in combat situations or survival situations. However, that being said, I understand them conceptually, and I understand them from other people who have that experience. I watch hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of videos from survival experts and combat experts, and I impart their knowledge and learn through their knowledge. And I filter their knowledge sometimes, because not all of their knowledge is useful or practical, and some of it's just fluff. Sometimes they talk out their ass, because, you know, when you get that big on YouTube, or you get that big on whatever other platform you're on, your ego inevitably will go to your head in some way, shape, or form. That's why I tend to prefer people who, you know, ground themselves and are humble and who have humility. You know, people like Paul Harrell, for example, just to throw a name out there. The guy is very clean, very professional, very well-spoken, very good person to learn from. Whether or not I agree with everything that he says, at least on like a political basis, it's neither here nor there. You don't have to agree with someone to be able to learn from them. In fact, I would say most of the learning you will do in your life is from people that you do not want to be around. Because if you were surrounded by people that you liked and you still learned from them, it would just mean you're not paying attention. But if you put yourself in new situations that you're not comfortable being in, you have a lot more to learn, because they are going to come from a different walk of life than you. This isn't supposed to be a philosophy talk. I don't know why I keep getting into that kind of stuff. I guess that's just the nature of who I am. But moving on. Main pocket. Absolute main pocket. Big deep boy. I got some camo netting, but it's not actually camo, it's black, because I do black, I don't do camo. Some people might argue the functionality of camo or how effective it might be. I don't see the practical application of it, and I've never learned the practical application of it. Maybe I can be convinced, maybe I can't. I don't know. I would just, I would say that anytime I would do any kind of assault or wet work or anything like that, I would probably be doing night ops anyways, and in that case, black is probably going to be better. Probably. Again, I don't know, not an expert, whatever. I've got some playing cards in here. I've got a little plastic tube of paracord, which I leave out so I can repair that little EDC kit, which I actually haven't gotten into right now. God damn it, I just realized that. I need to get back into that one too. This is the drinking hose for my gas mask. Also probably going to get into that in part 3. I don't have time on this one. I've got a screw in the end of it to keep it clean. Might be rubbing your head on that one, but it fits perfectly to keep it sealed, and otherwise that opening is just completely exposed. So I would say if you have a drinking hose or anything like that, anything of that nature that you're going to be putting in your mouth, try and keep it clean, try and keep it sealed off. So there's a bunch of other stuff in this bag. I'm just going to rattle off what it is because it's going to be a bitch to take out. And I'd really like to move on. There is a plastic foldable dining kit in there, which is meant for survival. There's a collapsing silicone bucket for water and that kind of stuff. There's a Stanley hammer in there. There's a pry bar in there, pry bar crowbar. There is a yellow safety vest. I think that's it. That's a bungee cord. There's a yellow bungee cord. I'll get into that. Promise, if it's requested, even if it's not requested, I'll still probably get into it. But I've really got to get through all of this stuff. Wrap up this video series, and I'm only in part 2 right now. This is the EDC kit. This is really meant to be like an actual EDC kit. I've got stuff in here that I would actually use on a daily basis, and that's something that people are really bad at with EDC kits. I'm not getting into it. I'm not gonna go through the contents of this. I'm just not. Moving on. I haven't gotten to this yet. So the entire time I've been doing these videos, and I've done this is the 3rd time I'm trying this one now, haven't been able to get to this far. So we're making good progress now. We're only at 23 minutes, so we're doing good. So first things first. You might see that this says Xbox on it. It was because I won this bag. Well, I guess won probably isn't the right term. It was given to me through a promotion for Microsoft Xbox to celebrate the launch and release of the game State of Decay 2. I am a very large man. I am a very, very big fan of the series and the developers, Undead Laboratories. Shout out Undead Laboratories. They're cool people. And I was trying to enter a contest to win a new controller from Microsoft during this promotion. Didn't end up winning the promotion, but they still did seek me out based on my image that I submitted, showcasing a lot of my Microsoft products. I'm a pretty big Xbox fanboy. I'm not gonna split hairs on that. That's just the truth. And they told me that they were going to send me this Xbox branded Oakley kitchen sink backpack as like thanks for being such a big fan, which is cool. This is like a $150 to $200 backpack at the time that they gave it to me. It has some very high quality hardware on it, metal hooks and latches and everything like that. Unfortunately, I don't use this bag hardly at all. and probably only would in an emergency situation. I don't like that it's camo. I really don't like that it's Xbox branded. As big as a fan as I am of Xbox, I don't like the idea of putting branding or logos on any of my equipment. In the last video you saw, if you saw it, part 1 of this Arsenal review, I went over my Rogue hunting knife from Walmart. I had actually removed the stitching of the word Rogue on the actual sheath scabbard itself. That's just who I am. I do not want your logos on any of my products if I can avoid it. I don't want people to see me as a walking advertisement for your products. I don't care how good your product is. I don't care how high quality or great it is. If your product is that high quality, then you should make it so distinctive that people don't need to look at branding to know that that's your product. You know, if you look at, let's say, a Glock, for example, you know it comes from Glock, and you know that it's not a knockoff, and you know it's a high quality firearm. I don't like Glocks, but I can admit that they are high quality firearms. Maybe not high quality, but good quality. They are good quality firearms. Anywho, getting into tangents again. Stupid DJ, shut the fuck up. These, at first glance, would appear to be Oakley Operator hard knuckle gloves. However, even with the branding on them, again, they are not. These are cheap Chinese knockoffs. And that's how I am. I don't care that these are cheap Chinese knockoffs. It doesn't bother me one bit. They still have all the features as far as I know. The hard knuckle, the finger protection here. They are, as far as I'm concerned, effectively the same gloves. I don't really use these a whole lot. They're kind of a loose fit. They're not very tight. Possibly just because they're from China. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not going to get into it. This is a paracord bracelet with a button, compass, and a mini bit. That's what's in this pocket. And ultimately, right now, this isn't even a survival bag right now. This is just where I'm keeping a bunch of gear. Cleaned out a closet full of gear. It's essentially just a wardrobe. So it was just convenient to toss it all in this bag here. I've got a beret. That's not really survival gear. A lot of this isn't survival gear. This is just gear. But that's kind of what this is. This is an Arsenal review, gear review. I've got these, this skull half mask or full mask, ski mask, whatever you want to call it. The skull mask gets me real riled. These are cool. These are objectively pretty cool. But in recent years, the Atomwaffen group, a bunch of fucking neo-Nazis, has popularized this mask, and it is now associated with fucking fascists. So, now I have to be apprehensive to wear it because I don't want to be associated with fucking fascists. I would love to just, kill them all and take it back and make sure that it's not associated with them ever again, but good luck with that. This is a neck gaiter hood type thing. It's a mess right now, honestly. I don't know how to get it back to the way it's supposed to be, but it is in not so good a shape right now. Oh, I think there we go. So yeah, it's just like a hood, like an external hood. Like if you were wearing some like good gear that doesn't have a hood on it, you want to quickly add a hood, you could add a hood. If you would, You could. Maybe you should add a hood. Fucking Dr. Seuss shit. Knee pads and elbow pads. Unfortunately, these actually don't fucking fit me all that well because of how fucking chonky I am. So, yeah, there's that. I probably need to get a new pair. A lot of people would probably say, oh, you need to lose some fucking weight. Yeah. You've heard it all, I'm sure. I've heard it all. We've heard it all. Ah, fuck. Pro tip. You throw Shemagh in a bag, keep it far away from all Velcro. Gray Shemagh, green Shemagh. I have a really nice black one around here somewhere too. These are kind of a unique thing. These are like wrist guards for like sparring and whatnot. I like the idea of using these for just general gear. If you know you were to take some kind of hit or attack, it wouldn't necessarily be enough to you know, keep your arm from getting, I don't know, surviving a baseball bat or something like that, but it might be enough to cushion some force of impact. And where I am a fucking weakling, I can use all the fucking protection. I need all the protection I can get, I guess is what I should say. Because I am fat and weak and not really apt for survival situations. Which may or may not be the reason why I do so much panic buying and hoarding of survival gear, because I feel like if the gear gives me the edge that I need, then I need the gear. I don't know. Won't get into that. Already did. I don't know why I keep saying I won't get into stuff when I obviously just get into it anyway. 32 minutes. Getting there. We are getting there. Obviously, I'm skipping through a lot of stuff, so maybe that's why I'm saving so much time. I don't know. I just kind of want to be able to put most of the stuff away. This is my maintenance bag, or my AK. And it is specifically for my AK. Check what do I have in here. Oh. I'll literally just have a fucking fistful of cotton swabs in this pocket. Which, if you ever cleaned a rifle, you know, they are nice to have. This is a nice rolled up TechMat AK-47 cleaning mat. This is an old Hops gun cleaning kit. There's quite a few things in here. This is very old. Smells very old. My dad gave this to me. It says patch cloths. Is there actually patch cloths in here? There is patch cloths in here. Crazy. This box is absolutely fucking like stained with oil. Pretty sure that is just about empty. There's still something in there. A light, pure, colorless oil that will not gum, harden, or turn rancid. High viscosity. Gives lasting protection and lubrication. Cleans and protects woodwork. keeps rust away. Also excellent for sewing machines, typewriters, clocks, hinges, workshop, and garden tools, light machinery, vacuum cleaners, bicycles, motors, pumps, roller skates, pen knives, window latches, and locks. Interesting that they do not mention firearms. Oh, on the front. High viscosity and penetration for firearms, fishing reels, and all mechanisms. I kind of like the old way of marketing where they just literally tell you exactly what the product is for, and like there's no guessing game. But heaven forbid we have genuine marketing that conveys the product in a honest way. It says rod end accessories. And there is exactly that. There's a bunch of bore brushes in there. Wow. This is actually a decent kit. I just hadn't actually looked at it. Just went ahead and bought my own. That's not tight at all. Probably doesn't need to be. The case itself is kind of in a sorry state. Because it's broken pretty much everywhere. Anywho, got some more brushes and stuff in here. Got the little nylon brush. This nylon brush and this other rod here actually came in my TechMac kit, which I'm going to be getting into in a moment. Got a nice little drawstring travel bag inside my drawstring travel bag. Yeah, so this is the 7.62 millimeter cleaning kit. There's some brushes in there, some other rods and ends and knickknacks. They're all pretty fucking filthy right now because I actually just recently cleaned my AK pretty thoroughly for the first time. I've got a little Ziploc bag with a work cloth, grease cloth, whatever you want to call it, which is pretty fucking filthy again right now. And then there's a bottle of lube in there that a buddy of mine gave me. Got a 7.62 bore snake here. And last but not least, I've got the TechMat cleaning cloth, which I have not used yet because, I don't know, it's one of those things where it's like, it's a brand new cleaning cloth. Obviously it's meant for cleaning, but at the same time it's like, I don't want to use the brand new cleaning cloth when I have a working, dirty cloth. Using a cloth for something you know is going to get filthy and ruin the cloth is kind of one of those like weird things. Getting long video. I might close this one out actually. Now that I'm done with this. Yeah, actually we're gonna do that. I'm gonna, no. We got one more thing to go over real quick. It's gonna be kind of difficult. That's fine. I think we can squeeze it in. File gets corrupt, whatever. Like, we do what we can, I suppose. There's one more bag there, but we're gonna quickly go through my ammo canister here. It's just a rolled steel $12, $15 from Walmart. Got BX mags for my 22, which makes it an assault rifle, don't you know? You know, you got a banana clip, it makes it an assault rifle, even though it's a 22. I've got a filter, 40 millimeter Type 8, I believe, filter for my gas mask. I've got some Streak tracer rounds for my 45. I've got some Federal brass FMJ for my 45. I've got some more Federal 45. I've got some Hansen Cartridge Company, really old ass Israeli FMJ. Says 7.62 by 39. I kind of forgot this was in here. I need to clean those off. I thought those were 22s for some reason. I don't know why I thought that. Speaking of which, I've got this Armscour Precision 22 case. I've got some CCI Stinger 22. And I've got a little bit left of my Calamo 7.62 39. And that is it for my ammo, and also it for this video. So part 3 coming up. Stay tuned.